Guys, yeah, we are live. Is it okay?
Yeah,
Can we
that's
be
fine.
live early?
Sure.
You don't want to see these guys?
I do. I just wasn't expecting that.
Okay, let's see who we got here. Let's start at the top. We got Brian. What's up? Okie folks are weird. Yes, you are. Starla. Eagle Lover, Texas. See, I caught you that time. I missed you last week.
Oh, did you remember to
Lucy's in
create
here.
a link if Greg wants to show up?
I can just drop it in there.
Okay.
I can just drop it in there. Eagle Lover, Texas. And then Mr. Spags, Unfiltered. How you doing, man?
Sup, and I actually got the seed exchange and that kind of, I think I called it seed swap. And then
okay, you started the story in the middle there. So start at the beginning and tell them what you did. Hey, Scanes.
So if you go over to, and I'm sorry about my voice, we had a festival this weekend, so I was trying to help everybody out, and can't believe how many questions there are in the freeze dryer. So that's what this is. Not a cold. I'm not sick, anything like that. MidwestPreparednessProject.com. And I went over and created a group for seed swap so that we can all go in together, and whatever seeds, whatever state you're from, we can just kind of exchange back and forth and get some of those rare and hard to find seeds. So that's what we're doing. Everything is set up there. So if you go in and go to the group seed swap, you're going to be able to find an address and be able to figure out exactly what you need to do in order to send seeds and in order to get seeds. So all I'm asking is that when you send seeds, put in a self-addressed envelope with a stamp on it, and then that way we can just swap everything out. So I will be basically your central exchange, and once we get creative enough that I can create a library and know exactly what we have and all of that, I'll create a library, and then you can just say I'm sending this for this. But we're probably looking a little further down the road, just to be honest with you. We have so many festivals coming up. Powwow just came upon us, and so we're getting ready for Powwow. And then I've got the tribal flea market the following week, and then possibly Oskaloosa the week after. So there's just a lot going on. So bear with me. I am getting it in, but also know every Friday at each Midwest Preparedness Festival, we will be doing a seed swap, and hopefully on a big scale. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep, and I dropped the link there in the chat. You guys can go check it out.
Yep. Make sure you become a member.
Yes,
that way you catch everything.
Go join Midwest, and it's like a mini freesteading. Only it deals with Midwest Preparedness Project.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going down to Southern Missouri.
You're going to Southern Missouri while I'm at Powwow, but Mr. Hacks has been gracious enough, and you must have set that up.
Yes.
And so he's been gracious enough that he's going to help me with that. So I'm.
And we missed some people. We got Scanes showed up.
Hi.
Michigan Outpost 231. Corn Pop's here, stirring up trouble. Looking for thick chicks. Grateful Hearts Ranch is here. ACM Homestead. Hope you guys enjoyed. We got a lot to talk about, and basically it's all Oklahoma all the time right now, this week.
This weekend anyway, or this week. Yeah, you're right. This week.
So it was
possibly even further since now the powwow's right around the corner.
So it was we left on Thursday. We're just going to give you a rundown of what happened, but you guys know what went on because it was a very interesting trip.
Homeschool kids came over, helped load the trailer, get everything finished up. What I was pulling out of the freeze dryer and doing all that. I got Kill on the conveyor belt, and him and Fee both were just kind of fighting over it because it really is a cool machine. So they were trying to do that, but Kill had it really under control because we had to get the O2 absorbers and all that in. And you know how Fee is. Sometimes her brain wanders a little bit, and he's like, no, don't go to the machine. This is time sensitive. We have to get these in. And it was funny just to watch him. And I think we definitely have an entrepreneur.
We got some new subs here. You guys treat them really well. Let them know that we got what a good community here. We got Heartland HQ with Dink and Tank. I love that name. The Stanley family from North Central Arkansas.
Yeah, hey guys.
We got several people from Arkansas.
Yeah, the Stanley family, like your comments and a bunch of other people's comments have been so gracious, and we're so excited. We were really not sure how that video was going to go, the interview.
Oh, with Joseph.
Yeah, we weren't sure how that was going to go. We did lose some subs over that.
Don't you're jumping ahead in the story.
Oh,
again, you're starting the story in the middle.
Going in the middle, sorry.
Okay, new people here. You gotta understand, Yoda loves starting stories in the middle, like you know exactly what she's talking about.
I just speak from my head.
So, look at this. Terminator bought a dehydrator and learning how to use it. You'll have fun with that. You can do some cool stuff.
Yes.
So we left. We got the trailer loaded, and we left and made a very leisurely drive.
It wasn't bad. It was not a bad drive at all.
Aside from the fact that every hour on the way to Oklahoma, we had to stop for some sort of road construction.
And wait a half an hour. Yeah.
It was a pretty good trip. And then right before we got to Pryor, this is the first incident. We dodged a bullet. I'm not going to lie. We dodged a bullet. So
something I don't know.
We stopped to get fuel and grab something to eat because it was getting late in the afternoon.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure we did that before we went and set up.
And we were at a Casey's and topped off. Thank God Angela was sitting in the truck because I reached down and grabbed the handle and pulled up on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it free floated. It did not catch anything, nothing unlocked.
Yeah.
And on a Chevy 2500, the only door with a lock on it is the driver's side door. Driver's side front door. And
do you want me to turn that off?
Yes, please. Because Tag's gonna call.
No, he won't.
Since it's making noise, he's call.
Not gonna call.
But anyway, so the only door you can open up with the key is the driver's side door, and it wasn't catching anything. And so luckily she was in there. There's a little piece like this that you pull it and it unlocks the door. See, look, he's right there. He's in the chat.
It wasn't him. It was Neon.
Yeah. Tag says, I needed her to stay in the truck. Yes, for many reasons. But luckily,
Rowdy just called.
We very easy. Okay, this is. Tag. I'm so close to just giving your number out. Have people call you during your live.
You're not going to do that.
I wouldn't do that. That's not cool.
Don't do that.
But no, we dodged a bullet because we very easily could have been locked out of the vehicle.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been bad.
That would have sucked. Let's be honest.
It would have been bad.
So we managed to dodge that one. We got to the venue. Great venue. Would you agree?
Oh man,
Anybody that was there, give us a one. Just type a one if you were there and you thought it was a great venue.
Just the hospitality alone was amazing.
You know, it was
great.
It was it was indoors. The vendor tents were indoors, which was nice.
Well, we were undercover.
Well, we were undercover.
Yeah, so they were trying to figure out the vendors and then where to put us. So they put us underneath where It was at the
It's the
state.
show. It's the show area.
It was at the state fairgrounds,
Right.
and so where the
county fairgrounds.
so where the are you sure it was county?
Marion County.
So anyway, where the livestock and all that would be shown is where they put us, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then later on, we found out there was a bathroom in there. We should have just used that bathroom. It was cleaner than the other.
So we got set up. Didn't have really any incidences setting up.
No, it was good.
We met the hacks. The hacks came down and met us. They came down and went to the festival, helped us run the vendor stand.
Yeah.
And we went to dinner, went to check into the hotel, which on the surface looked like a really nice hotel.
It did.
It did.
Don't get me wrong.
Hold on. It looked like a really nice hotel. We went and ate dinner. There's a little Mexican place in Pryor right next to the Pryor Hotel. That's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Decently priced.
No, it was good food.
Good food.
Yeah.
And then we drove up to AutoZone and got the part to fix the window.
Yeah.
So after dinner, Axe and I, these two had to run. Her and Pippin had to run to Walmart to pick something out because why? Why did you have to go to Walmart?
I was so busy loading and trying to make sure everything went in. I forgot shirts, so I had to go buy shirts.
She left her clothes in the dryer, so she had a sweater and a sweatshirt, and it was going to be 90 degrees.
It was hot.
Hey Faith, how you doing?
Hey Faith. Yeah, it was really hot. And then I was lucky to find the 2 shirts that I needed because that was like Coochie Mama Central. I've never seen anything like that. Boobs exposed, the whole 9 yards. I know.
The Walmart clothing, not.
No, yeah, it was at Walmart. But our Walmart doesn't have that. They're still pretty conservative. But yeah, no.
No, Starla, we did not get a chance to meet Daniel Arms. We met Brandy and Dutch, and that was
we met Daniel.
Did you meet? I didn't meet him.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh.
No.
I think I did. I don't know. We met so many people. It's really hard to put everything in perspective. And then they're running the event, right? So when they're running the event, it makes it really difficult. They don't have time to just come and chat with everybody. And most of the time we spent with Dutch really was after the event.
Yeah, talking to him.
So, yeah.
But we got set up, and Doug and Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, they were wandering around. They just finished up their class, so we went over and said hi, and it was really nice. They remembered us from Hannibal.
Yeah.
And they remembered Darren and Patty.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. And we sat there and talked to them and
made sure we're in. So we will be having a tent, a vendor tent at Hannibal. So we will be there.
And with luck, so will the hacks.
Right. Yeah.
So will the hacks. The hacks, that may be their first vendor festival.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I am too.
They said from here on out. And so I'm excited about that.
And Squat showed up and Pup for
Hey,
life.
hey.
How you guys doing? Gorgeous day in New Hampshire. Isn't it always a gorgeous day in New Hampshire though?
Yeah, Dad called me. They're in Oregon and they were just having the time of their life right now.
Yep.
So
and then we got Tara.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll talk later.
Tara.
We'll meet up for lunch, girl. Don't worry about it.
Tara.
Just,
AKA Neon. She is an integral part of the Midwest Preparedness Festival team.
And an integral part of our group.
Yes, integral part of our group.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So it was nice. It was nice talking to him. We Doug was blackpilling us.
Which is funny.
No, not really.
They don't have time to watch our videos, and we get it because we don't have time to watch a lot of other videos. And so it's really funny when he sits there and he's trying to blackpill us, and we're just like, yeah, great, got it. And then if you thought about blah, 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 and we're all on the same page.
They're good people, though. If you ever get to meet them in real life, seriously, they are. I genuinely
they're
like
genuine.
them. I genuinely like them. What you see on their videos is what they're like in real life. So
and Doug and Stacy both, they just want you to succeed. Make your health better, make your land better. You can do it on a small amount of acreage, or you can do it on half an acre, a quarter of an acre, and here's how you do it. And you just start here. And so we really like them. We really do. What we know of them.
Yeah, what we know.
Yeah.
Enough that we're going to go to their festival again.
Yes, we will represent them at every single festival.
Yeah.
We like what they're thinking. So
that was Friday. We went and just hung out afterwards. Darren and I are tearing We literally had to tear the driver's side door apart, take the glass out, undo the
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared when I saw the window was out of there.
we had to take the window out. We had to loosen the rails that the window goes up and down on, had to disconnect a bunch of stuff, and we managed to do it. Luckily we had the Swiss Army Darren with us, so he was able to walk me through, showing me what to do and how to fix it. And
so now you can fix the other 3 doors, right?
Well, sure.
You need to. Poor Patty, she rides in our truck, and I've got that bum knee and she's got a bum knee. Well, hers is getting better, mine is getting better too, but sometimes I need to stretch. So the way we have to do it in the back seat, she has to sit on the driver's side passenger, and
because you don't like opening that door.
She has no, you can't get out. No. Like somebody from the outside. Is that what the lack of communication was coming back from Tennessee?
You can open that door from the inside.
No, you cannot.
Oh.
No, you cannot. That's why she was yelling, "Let me out! Let me out!" It was kind of funny, but not really funny because I understood her pain.
I did not know that. You have to communicate.
I had to let Fee, who was on that side, I think it was Fee, I had to get her out of there when I dropped them off. Yeah.
So that was Friday.
And this is it on the homestead. When you don't have debt, this is how it works. You just beat up a truck until it won't go any longer. Yep. And I would say that for the majority of us, I don't know anybody that has a new truck. We all make them work.
So Friday night kind of showed something about when you go to these things.
Oh yeah.
So you stayed up, or you and Patty stayed outside talking with people for like an hour.
Most of the vendors and presenters were at the hotel that night. And then there were other people that just came. And it was fun because those people that just came, and the vendors and presenters, we all sat down and talked with each other. Yeah. We just fellowshipped. It was amazing.
And so that's the upside of staying at a hotel.
Made a lot of good connections.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. When we went back to the land, which they announced the dates.
I put the
22nd, 23rd.
I put the vendor information in there.
Okay. Yeah. Back to land. Matt and Gabby just announced their back to the land dates this year, and it's September 23rd and 24th in
which we're going to be like back to back. Right.
We got a busy month.
Just make sure that you knew that. So yeah.
I know.
But we've got it. We've got it covered. I just may be a little more hoarse than I am right now. So.
But I'm not gonna lie. When we went to Tennessee, I really enjoyed staying in that B&B.
We weren't in Tennessee. Oh yeah, and I slept much better.
Yeah. We'll get to that story. We'll get to that. Hold on. Jumping ahead again.
I just say it.
So Saturday rolls around. We got up and had ate breakfast and went to the venue, and
breakfast was terrible. I never seen just a white gravy. I'm like, what the heck is this? And then I was like, where's the scrambled eggs? And,
okay, you're jumping ahead, so we might as well talk about the hotel.
You were talking about it.
We might as well. I just said that we had breakfast. Okay, so the Hotel Pryor in Pryor, Oklahoma. Take this for whatever you want.
It's a safe place to sleep.
It's safe, but it was $125 a night for a $68 a night hotel. Seriously, it was way overpriced. And then Saturday night, this one's
I heard it Friday night and Saturday night, but I didn't know why yet. I didn't know why yet, and so I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Because they were stomping on the floor, and it was like, So whatever was going on, there was somebody who could not sleep next to the bathroom. They were sleeping over by the window. And then apparently there were emergencies that were going on. I didn't know this at the time. I thought they were just being rude. And so all I heard was stomp, 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 stomp all the way to the bathroom. And then you could tell they were pretty ticked off, or now I know not feeling well. And then you would hear the door. And then stomp, 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 stomp back to the bed. Well, turns out one of the vendors, and I'm not sure that it was the vendor up above us. I really don't know. One of the vendors actually could not attend because they got food poisoning. And so now I feel really bad about how angry I was. But I was
like, so a rational person does not yell at the top of their lungs at 1:30 in the morning in a hotel room and then stomp their feet, demonstrating what the person above this.
I figured if I could hear them, they could hear me, and apparently not.
No, nobody heard you.
Nobody
else heard the footsteps.
Nobody.
Either. You're the only person.
Because it was above our bedroom. It was above our bedroom.
Okay, I didn't hear it. All I could hear was this.
You also need hearing aids, so there's that. But when you live out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm talking, you lose electricity, and so it's pitch black. When you live out in the middle of nowhere, everything you can hear. I can hear every door open. I can hear everybody going down the hallway. I can hear all of that. It's like supersonic hearing. A drama queen. Yeah, you tried going all weekend without sleep.
So we have to decide if we're going to stay in hotels or bed and breakfast.
I think B&B from now on.
Then we miss out on meeting all these cool people.
I know, which is so stinking cool, but maybe we just figure out where they're staying, we show up, and then go back to the B&B. Or we just do like we did in Tennessee and invite some over to the B&B for a cookout, right? Maybe we just do that.
We had a couple from Kansas City that went down there, and they came Saturday afternoon and to the booth, and we had met them at breakfast
in Hannibal
at the hotel we stayed at in Hannibal. And they came and said hi and talked to us about community.
And we'll actually be at Midwest Preparedness Festival.
Yeah, right? They said they're going to try to make.
They really are. They're looking into our community and that kind of thing.
He got sick and they couldn't make it this spring, and
they're going to try to be out.
They're going to try to be out there this fall. So hopefully they can get out there, and that's more bodies we can get out there. And then as far as the booth went, you guys saw the little walking tour I did. The only thing I didn't get
is our booth, and then
the tractors.
Well, no, there was somebody else that commented. My booth wasn't in there, and I told her, I explained that you lost footage from corrupt files, that's why our booth wasn't in there, and their booth, and probably a few. Right?
The wildlife rescue with
that might have been her.
There was a wildlife rescue.
So
had
cool.
a pet vulture, an owl and a vulture.
Oh, I didn't see the vulture.
He was taking a nap most of the day.
Oh,
he was in his kennel. Oh, I forgot to say hi to Gregory.
I should have just
showed up.
Snuggled with the owl.
Gregory's one of the regulars around here anymore. But yeah, it was a good Saturday.
It really was. And
the crowd wasn't as big as what they thought it was.
No, but now I'm starting to, I understand why. So as I was talking to people, I was talking to Kevin's wife.
Yeah.
And so as I was talking and kind of figuring out what was going on, because we brought product mirroring what we thought the numbers would be, right? Because that's kind of how you do that. And so that's a lot of work. So we were kind of, like, well, okay, we did great because, talk about the connections and networking and all that stuff. We did fantastic. And so when I was talking to them last year for the first time that they did it, they had it in March. And this time they tried it in June. And so trying to figure out, well, what's the issue? The issue is this is geared towards new homesteaders. Homesteaders trying to get all of their everything in perspective, right? And so they have kids, and those kids are in baseball, and there's all the tournaments and everything going on. So, well, I guess softball tournaments are going on too. So you have all of that. So that was probably the lack of numbers for that. Not to mention personal things that were going on, because you put 2 videos out on what was happening at the festival, and we got a lot of comments of people like, I'm so sad that I missed this. And, this is really like what it is and all of that. So there were a lot of people that, due to circumstances, they just couldn't be there. So I think if you had those numbers in March, you stay doing it in March. Yep. Just don't go up against SOE.
Hey, All-American Prepper. How you doing, man?
Hey, dude.
We got a special announcement dealing with All-American Prepper and Tag. Actually, it's not our special announcement, but we're going to announce it special for somebody else later on. Yeah. But it was a good day. One thing we did learn is we do have to tailor the vendor tent for the crowd.
Well, and we really won't know until we do a lot of these events. Everything is regional, and I knew that. I know business, been in business my entire life. Everything is regional. You really don't know until you get there. So obviously, so many people are doing freeze dried candy, and I did sell some, but now I know what to take and what not to take. What did really well was our freeze dried food, and then I learned why we did so well was because we had so many people that are paralyzed, not paralyzed in fear, but
they're thinking too much.
Yeah. And so they're not doing it. And this is why my voice is not very well, because I was trying to walk each individual person through that process and what happens. So I think what we need to do, I'll just do more videos. I know I didn't do it on the wild boar. But I will do more videos. I just want to put it together more as instructional class, because I think right now that's where the demand is. So we'll do that. You don't need to see us being successful and taking everything out. You need to see it, I think, just from the questions I was asked. It needs to go from the beginning. The recipe, a lot of people think they can't put their recipes in for some reason. So it needs to go from recipe to the freeze dryer, and then out of the freeze dryer into package. So if I'm just going to put some thought into that and do that.
We're going to chase this squirrel right quick.
Okay.
So Rickster's asking how the chicken parm bites are. She nailed the recipe, and they freeze dried really well.
Really well. I was really surprised.
It tastes like little cheesy. The texture of the chicken's kind of different.
Well, it's freeze dried.
Yeah, it's freeze dried. It's freeze dried chicken.
It's more like a cracker, maybe.
Yeah, it's
a chicken cracker.
But it tastes awesome.
Yeah,
you could mac on those. Not as good as the ham and cheese chips.
And I'm super
probably
excited.
Close second.
Yeah, and super exciting. I got another recipe for Bulgarian goulash, and so I will be making that. That's
Bulgarian goulash. We don't need American goulash around here, girl.
She saw American, and that's when she offered the Bulgarian. And so her husband was like, "It's out of this park." And I said, "Well, send it to me and I'll figure it out." And so she did send me the recipe. So I'm going to be, as soon as we get powwow and all of that, give me a week and a half. And then as soon as I get that week and a half out of the way, I will get a video, and we're going to just do that recipe start to finish and then try it in the freeze dryer. I'm going to send her a package. And if it nails hers, and that package is going to be freeze dried. So this is going to be really, really interesting, because we'll see if she can reconstitute it back to the way that she had it, because we're states away, right? So she can't taste when I do it fresh. So this is like the ultimate test, and I'm super excited about this. And so I'm going to be doing that. I'll have it to her hopefully within the month or a month. And then she can try that and tell me yes or no if it's any good. I love somebody who can perfect something, especially when they're in Germany, who can perfect something and then let me know. She's in the States now, but she lived in Germany. Her house is still over there. So especially somebody who has that knowledge, who can tell me yes or no. Or maybe here's what we have to do.
Somebody thinks it's awesome that you're finally going to start making videos about freeze drying.
I have to, Skeins. There's too many people that aren't doing the freeze dryer because they just don't understand it.
Okay, we're going to take a quick time out on the talking about the expo. Okay. So Starla had some very bad news this week, and they were talking about it on the way down there on the phone, her and Angela. Yes. And we just want to make sure that we keep her in our prayers. She lost her father, and there's some other stuff going on. Her husband's still recovering from the wreck that he had over a year ago. So we need to keep them in the prayer. And then I saw All American further up in the chat said that he spent all day at the VA with his father, because he's not doing well either. Yeah. So we need to keep these people. We need to keep these people in our prayers and be looking out for each other and helping each other where we can, you know. And I'm probably the worst person to be saying this, because I don't like people, but I'm beginning to understand that we need to be there for each other. Yeah, we need to be there for each other. So if you guys would you please say a little prayer and reach out and give some encouragement at some point. Okay, now,
around everybody.
Now back to the thing. Gregory says he enjoyed your interview with the processor gal, Tiffany,
Tiffany, yeah,
mobile processor. That young lady,
she's smaller than I am. She's like
that young lady and her friend too, the girl with the ear tags, the custom made ear tags. Those two were pretty cool. So Tiffany spent 1.5 years building that by herself. 12 years of tips from bartending to pay for it, and she did all the work herself. And she's the only person in Oklahoma that can do that. And just she did a fantastic job. That thing, the video did not do it justice, and it did not do her justice. She's a little dynamo.
If you can see it in person, oh my goodness.
So the cool thing is, and Hacks, I hope I'm not letting anything out of the bag, but Hacks is going to get her in touch with Billy
over at Permapasture
Farm. Permapasture, because Billy is trying to put together an all-female lineup for a expo festival women's workshop. I think
it's women's preparedness,
something like that. But he's got some really good people lined up so far, and Tiffany would fit right in. We were talking afterwards, and she's all about helping the youth, young girls. She said if I could just get one girl to become an apprentice, become a butcher, it's a win. You know, and empowering the kids. She does.
I really wish Fee was older, because Fee and her would be a good fit.
Yeah.
Fee, a friend of ours. So
hey,
one of the kids that watches our place when we're gone, she actually wants to apprentice, and so she was going to talk to an uncle and see if she could do that. Her and Tiffany, they would be a great fit. Yeah. And Fee is like, she's on it, but they're states away. So
yeah, absolutely, Gregory. She was pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
you know, and there were a lot of neat people there, just roaming around and talking to them and seeing everything.
There were other freeze dryer people there. They all had candy, and we all sat down and talked. The dyers, and we talked to the husband, then we talked to the wife, and just kind of passed some information back and forth. That was really good. And they flat out looked at everything in my booth and literally asked me, why aren't you commercial? And I did not have an excuse.
Because you're a procrastinator and you haven't done the stuff that needs to be done
I know.
to become commercial.
I didn't have an excuse. So,
well, and that's the cool thing.
I think I got a little fire lit underneath my butt.
That's the cool thing. We're talking to the people that did the freeze drying, we go to these festivals and we run into people all the time. My Honey Kitchen, and these other places, and it seems like on the face of it, seems like there's a ton of people doing freeze dry stuff. A lot of competition. That market is so wide open, and then we're kind of in an unusual niche. Us and Honey's Kitchen is the only ones that we found that are doing.
Well, I do meals,
and
I do meals, and so even My Honey's Kitchen, we're a little bit different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I was flat out asked why I wasn't doing commercial.
But and there's room enough in there for everybody right now, because it's so wide open and everybody helps each other. Like our new sealing machine.
Oh, I wouldn't have known about that if it wasn't for My Honey's Kitchen.
For Ginger told us about the machine that they use, and we got it.
And Ginger, if you're watching, that thing is amazing. It saved me so much time.
She did in about 15 minutes.
Half an hour. It was a half an hour.
Well, what would have taken several hours.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, you have to do a video on it and show people, do a review.
Yeah, because we were telling the dyers about it, and so he was asking, he was like, what? And kind of same thing we did when Ginger told us about it. And so I'll do a video on it. It just, and especially now that I'm getting ready for the reservation for the powwow and stuff, we'll get that done. That'll be a quick video. I'll do that. Yeah. It just saves so much time, and $250, what's your time worth versus that, right? So what took me a half an hour probably would have honestly taken me 2 days.
Yep. So
there's that.
HG's in the house. He just made dinner, made fried zucchini, non-salt seasoning. Oh, look at that, man. He's cranking it out there.
We were all talking about zucchini chips in the freeze dryer this weekend. So
Gregory wants to know how far how far people came to the expo.
Dang, we had people from everywhere.
There was somebody from New Hampshire there, I know.
New Hampshire, Michigan, California,
New Mexico,
Texas, New Mexico, Florida, everywhere. They were from everywhere.
You know, I'm just for it being only the second time they put that on. It was really
impressive.
Well done. It was really well done, and like she said earlier, you know, the numbers belayed exactly how good it was, and I think next year it'll word of mouth because there were a lot of people. I didn't hear anybody have anything negative to say.
Nobody had anything negative to say. It's just about adjusting that month of when they do it to figure out when you can get the most people out there, right? You got to stay away from baseball season. Know who your target audience is.
Okay,
and once you know your target audience, then you know most people are homeschoolers, so an event in March is not a big deal. So there's that. But
okay, I got to ask you guys a question. And just go ahead and put it in the comments. So today, a lot of Okie Expo videos started popping up, and I'm watching these. Yeah, a lot of them did.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
But they started popping up, but a lot of them had these thumbnails that made it look like they did something wrong, and I'm like, what the hell? And the titles, they were kind of, I don't want to call it clickbaity, but they, you know, you get to look at these things and like, what are they talking about? I was there. I don't understand what the gist of this is. And then you watch it and they're like, oh, we had a great time and everything was great.
Something I didn't see that.
Well, no, if you look at the thumbnails and the titles, it's you're kind of left scratching your head. And I'm just wondering if that's a thing.
Oh, so maybe like something like that happened last year, and
no,
people are like, I don't want to.
No, there were people that were there, and there were people I know had a good time because I talked to them.
Well, no, I know, but what I'm saying, maybe the same thing. Those type of videos came out last year.
I don't know. It just was kind of weird. Of course, I guess I did do a clickbaity video too. So,
we just kind of try to keep things real, and so if we're having a good time, we're going to let you know we're having a good time. And, you know, if we're kind of amazed by, wow, here's how many vendors are here, we're going to tell you that too. So we just try to be honest.
See, look, HG saw it.
Definite clickbait. There was like there was drama. Huh.
See?
Interesting. No, everybody that I saw, all the YouTube channels, everybody was getting along.
Didn't have.
We were interviewed.
Were we?
Few times, yeah, by YouTube channels.
Okay.
Yeah. Like they came to the booth, right?
Oh, so Sherman, the Sherman family, they're new subscribers. They're nice people.
But there were more than that. And so which we need to get over there and make sure we are subscribed now, right? You subscribed. Sherman family. They did they did a giveaway and they're doing some other stuff, and I was like, wow,
Carrie Davis. Carrie Davis is in the house.
Hi.
You know,
so I don't understand why they said there was drama, because there was no drama. The only drama.
No, they didn't say there was drama. They insinuated, and then then the videos were like, yeah, this was a really great experience.
Yeah, no drama.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of weird, and I'm not complaining. I'm not saying anything. There's anything wrong with it. I just couldn't figure it out.
So the one thing that I had happen, and it was on Saturday. And all of a sudden,
screaming at the top of your lungs at 1:30 in the morning.
No, so like lack of sleep for 2 days, and I was like, Indian tacos. I see a sign for Indian tacos, goodness. And I was like, Indian tacos. Okay, I'm craving carbs. I gotta stay awake. Let me go get an Indian taco. So I order the Indian taco, and I get it, and I get back to our booth, and I look at it, and I went, oh crap! I see there's beef on it. And so I went back over to the kitchen and I was like, hey, where did you get the beef for the Indian taco? Because here at Potawatomi, we don't have beef on it. If there is meat, it's buffalo. And so it's grown on the reservation. So we're like, okay, so where did you get, I was like, where'd you get this beef? And everybody was disheveled. Nobody really knew. And so they looked at the one girl who's actually making the tacos. And like white as white can be. I'm not kidding. And no,
kind of like you,
like whiter than me, like white. And so she looks at me and she goes, the grocery store. Like I was stupid. And I went, oh crap. And then she's like, why? And I'm like, because it's full of red dye and it's full of all kinds of stuff and chemicals and this and that. I can't have it. Well, I had already bought it, so I made him eat it.
You didn't make me eat it.
I was like, here's a taco for
I
you.
was hungry, and I wasn't going to let $10 go to waste.
Well,
But
luckily, 10.
She comes over here. She comes back to the booth, and she goes, "Here, eat this." And she goes, well, and I go, "Why?" And she looks at me and she goes, "Because Cheryl spoiled me." Cheryl is the lady.
Of poison.
Cheryl is the lady at the flea market that makes the Indian tacos, and she makes some of the best darn Indian tacos you ever tasted.
Yeah,
and
it's like the bread is even way bigger than what this
they
one
use
was.
they use real fry bread.
Right? Yeah,
that wasn't real fry bread.
Well, you don't think so? Oh, well, you waited. I didn't eat it.
Yeah,
so
that wasn't. I can tell you right now, that was not real
okay.
fry bread.
All right. So I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
And,
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the powwow this weekend. I got Garen's like, do you care if I go camping? I'm like, no. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday getting my Indian taco on.
Tag, that's a nice problem to have, isn't it? You know, listen, if
I'm sorry, I forgot about the ground beef. I know I said
if a poorly made Indian taco is the top of your complaints, I think that's pretty first world.
Well, somebody said,
well, hold on. It was funny because I actually ran into Cheryl today and I told her the story about that, and she was tickled pink. She thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, no, I just can't do it. So no Cherokee Indian tacos, which is strange anyway. Yeah, no, that's all Cherokee.
That was nothing. It doesn't mean it was Cherokee though, because that did not look like an Indian taco.
Could have been. Yeah, no, I don't know. But anyway,
I ate it.
It was bad. It was something from Taco Bell's with cheese.
I ate it, but I also lived in the Orient for a little while.
Right.
They eat weird stuff.
She's like, I could get this, but yeah, so I'm excited about the powwow this weekend. I'll be eating good. So you go to camp, I don't care.
Yeah, Rickster, I'm trying that. So
bison.
They butcher a bison once a quarter, and then they give the elders.
It goes to the elders first.
They give elders free bison meat. So I'm trying to hook up with an elder that doesn't want the bison meat, and I'm going to trade them some lamb for their bison.
I know exactly which elder that is. I know.
You think they do that?
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. If you think they do it, I want if you haven't had bison, that is some of the finest meat in the world. Yeah. Seriously, it is really good. And speaking of bison, which even though these are farm raised, wild hog.
Oh yeah,
the wild hog video.
How do you know those were farm raised? Did you check with Dutch?
What? No, the bison here are farm raised.
Oh,
they're trying to rebuild the bison population in this area. So they've got a herd that they butcher out of, and they use for breeding to spread the genetics around.
Yoda's what?
Yoda's an elder.
Yoda's an elder. Hey, I'm okay with that.
Somebody else just had their 50th birthday. You're both 50 together, aren't you?
Yeah.
Same time. Both are 50.
But he'll tell you he's 6 months older or younger than me. So
okay, so here's how the age thing goes. When you're in your 20s, you're indestructible. When you're in your 30s, my head doesn't turn quite as far as it used to.
Right.
When you're in your 40s, it's okay. It takes me a little bit longer to recover.
And when you're 50,
and when you're in your 50s, it's weird being the same age as old people. That's what it is. He says you're older.
By 6 months. Give me a break. You're still 50. He's still 50.
He acts like he's 12 most of the time.
I want my ammo can back. If you're going to give me a hard time, I want my kick-ass ammo can back.
It's got his name on it.
It doesn't matter.
You can't. No, you
Doesn't
can't
matter.
Indian give.
Doesn't
You
matter.
cannot Indian give. But getting back to the expo, it was really, the thing that I really liked about it, probably the best thing, there were so many kids there.
Oh yeah,
and they were all engaged, even the little ones.
Man.
The petting zoo, and they were like, they were just so happy to be there and so excited.
Really wanting to know, how do you do the freeze dryer and how do you do all of that? I'm talking kids 12 years old that were like, okay, so explain this to me. Weren't they? Right. It was amazing.
It was really kind of funny because Joseph and his wife, they've got little ones. They've got he's got the makings of an infield.
They have the 7th on the way.
So
when he got fired from the Army, they had 6 kids.
So we sat there and talked at the booth, and they had their kids with them, and they were getting a little rambunctious and all that. And it was so funny. The guy that was in the booth across from us that had the hog feeders,
those were pretty cool too.
He was entertaining these kids. I asked him after they walked off. I said, "Okay, who was entertaining who?" And he said, "I really couldn't tell you."
The kids were just amazing.
Yeah, they were.
And so those kids came in and they were talking to me, and the little one, it was really funny because he was all over me. He's just like, hey, I did this, I did that. And I kind of looked at her and I was like, man, you got your hands full. And she looked at me and she goes, I don't understand it. He's kind of an introvert and never comes out. And all of a sudden, I mean, I could hug the kid. Like, we were just buddies by the time he left. So I am super excited for next year. If anything, we're just going just so that we can see the new baby.
Yeah.
So.
Pax says there were a lot of kids in the rabbit butcher class.
Yeah.
They got to they sat in on a couple of classes, and they said the classes were really well done too.
Yeah.
So
super cool.
She keeps wanting to go to classes.
I can't do it.
But
I try, but I can't.
Yeah.
Unless we're teaching it, we make it work, but there's no way.
But yeah, it's one of those things I don't make in classes either. I talking with people, which again amazes me.
Mm-hmm. And really, I would say, like, from especially this experience this weekend, which is part of the problem with my voice, our class was probably done from the booth. And I just hope that I was able to encourage many to get their freeze dryers working for them. And you may say, why would you do that? It's going to put you out of business. It is not going to put me out of business. And if it does, I don't care. I just want to be able to help people. So if people can get their food put away and do all of that and know the difference between Mountain House and Four Patriots, Four Patriots and all of that, if they can get that food put away, you would be surprised once I broke everything down, how many people literally said, I have to throw all that out. And they were just mind blown. We have been sold a lie. And so once you understand the truth and you can get all of that stuff together, that's when it all comes together. And so why not? Why not do that? I don't care if you put me out of business. I've got other business. I got fruit trees. I've got rooted hormone. I've got all of that. So I don't mind walking people through how to freeze dry.
Let's talk about the interview for a second. Let's talk about Joseph's story. And the interview really didn't cover nearly everything that we talked about off camera.
Yeah.
But it was kind of weird. So Friday they came to the booth and we started talking, and he made the comment. He said, I like your patch. And anytime anybody says that, the first thing I say is, I go, this is my $1.2 million patch. Do you want to hear about it? And
he was all over
so we started talking about it, and then he started telling me his story, and I'm listening to him, and Pax was there listening to it, and I was like, dude, we got to get you on camera.
All of our mouths just dropped.
We have to get this story out there. Yeah. And he kind of hemmed and hawed, and then I may have badgered him a little bit, but he said sure.
Well, he said that him and his wife would talk about it.
Yeah, but we got down in front of the camera, and by happen chance we found in the front foyer of the main exhibit area, they've got this huge wall of veteran stuff. And so we sat down. If you go back and you look at the video, you can see in the background there's military memorabilia. And so we sat down and had that. And like I said at the end of the video, it was like a weight was lifted off his shoulders, and he really started to open up. And then one of the guys that was in the hotel with us, very outgoing guy, very cool, does custom metalworking. Some of the work this guy does is phenomenal. He does custom work for like Kawasaki motorcycles and stuff. But anyway, he came by.
You're talking about Wolf?
Yeah, Wolf. Mm-hmm. So he came by after we got done. We went back over to our booth, and we told him the story. We talked about it, and he's like, dude, that's unacceptable. And
Wolf and Michelle were actually staying in the same hotel we were.
Yeah.
So we got to kind of hang out with them. Also with Carrie. Her husband kind of just slept. So I didn't really get to meet him until the last day. Well, I don't know if he was sleeping. He might have been taking care of business because they had a computer. We're still printing stuff out and doing all that while they were there.
You know, but it was cool. And then Wolf was like, I know some people, and hopefully I sent him the link to the video. Hopefully he can
hopefully Joseph
get
has an
something going.
attorney by the
If anything, you know, here's my thing about it is those guys, they can get their discharges upgraded. You have to wait 2 years, and then you can petition to have it upgraded to honorable. But what they
used him as an example.
What they did on the DD 214 by putting it in plain English, it should have never happened.
Right.
They should have never gotten other than honorable. And it's just a hassle. And it was vindictive. It was just the U.S. government being vindictive against a service member that stood up for what they believed in, you know, and it blows my mind. And coming right on, I honestly, had it not come so close on the heels of me being upset a couple of weeks ago, I don't know if I would have done what I did.
But isn't that interesting how God works? Because God did that. He made that happen. You got upset. And here Joseph came in. His wife and I had been talking, and we were sharing stories back and forth. And so when you came in, he came in, and you guys started talking, it was just, I would say, providential. It was something that was supposed to happen. And so it was great that that's the way that it happened. So
you know what, Starla, the right now, the only thing I can say is share that video out with as many people
as you can. Get it out to even angry cops. You left that out of the video.
No, I did that. I did not mention him on purpose, and I wish you did.
Well,
I just
think the video sent it to him. He's
the only person I mentioned was Mike Glover, because he just happened to put. It was really weird. We were driving home.
We did the interview before.
We were driving home Sunday, and for some reason, Mike Glover did a video on Friday, and it popped up in our feed
on the way home
because we listened. We've got a Bluetooth speaker.
But we're not even subscribed to him. So it was weird.
We've got a Bluetooth speaker, and we listen to YouTube on drives. So it popped up in the feed, and I was like, "Look at this! This is insane."
But great. Everybody's talking about it. So
of course, like I said last week, I think the phones and everything are listening in because, like I said, they asked me about the effects of a grenade on a body, and I told them at work last week, and then the very next day, actually, it wasn't even the next day; it was the same as that afternoon. A video popped up. On grenades. I was like, okay, that's just too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
Today is D-Day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It happened how many years ago?
Yeah, it was back in World War II. So it was the first day of 1940. Oh, you're asking me for history.
June 6, 44.
44? I was going to say 40. Well, Dad was born.
Years.
Dad was born 42.
79 years.
Well, I just said Dad was born 42, and I'm not sure that's right. He might have been 46. Yeah. It was 46 because he was the last boy on clock.
But today was a special day. A lot of heroism going on.
So hopefully this weekend, we didn't get a chance, but hopefully this weekend everybody bought their poppies. So
and Friday, was it Friday? We're sitting there, or Thursday? We were still setting up, and Indiana Mike and minimum maintenance MMR.
It was Friday.
Was it Friday?
It was Friday.
We were at the booth, and a couple of people from our community showed up, which was really cool. Indiana Mike and MMR showed up.
Yep.
So that was cool. They said they had to leave. They weren't there Saturday.
No. They only bought a 1-day pass.
But they said they had a great day.
Yeah.
Before they left.
Good.
They said they really enjoyed it.
Good.
So let's see. And then,
girl, they are always listening. Always. Yes. I knew that from real estate. We would talk about an address, and then all of a sudden everything would pop up. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. Everything would pop up about the information on the property and where to go. And you could just, if you put the address into Google, it just automatically, you didn't have to put the whole address in. The first number would pop everything in.
puts tape over the cameras. We got people at work to do that. Drives me
Yeah.
nuts because it screws the camera up, and whenever they want to do.
I did that in my office.
I know.
but-
This is the IT guy in me
Yeah,
coming
I
out
know.
because it screws the camera up, and then I got to clean it and deal with it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying think about your poor IT guy.
Yeah. But now they're listening. They're beyond the cameras.
Yeah.
Now they're listening. So it just is.
Well, and I don't know. Okay, since we brought it up, did you hear this week that they announced that the NSA has a backdoor into Apple phones that they can listen in. The NSA can listen in to listen to your phone.
Surprise.
Yeah, I guess that was buried way deep in the stuff that Snowden released, and it just never came to light. The first time I'd heard about it was this last week.
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't Snowden. Maybe it was the Air Force guy that just got arrested. I don't know.
Who knows?
But okay, so back to the expo. So Saturday
was great. Friday was great.
Yeah. We didn't make as much money as we thought we would.
You know what? We broke even.
Well,
but then you look at the network that we made.
That's the important part, folks. If you're ever on the fence about going to one of these things, as a participant, as a vendor, as a speaker, whatever, that's the big thing. That's why I brought it up.
Okay.
Because
in fact, I'm drinking out of this, and so anybody who knows me, and I hope I don't scare any of the new subscribers, but Carrie makes these, and I've got her card. I'll grab it so that you guys can order. And basically it says, attention, I am out of order until further notice. My stupid people filter needs cleaning, and my give a damn batteries have run out. So I bought that, and we're gonna have her do some cups for us for sure for Grumpy Acres Farm.
That's the takeaway from that. It's not about the
it's networking.
Yeah, it's the networking. Networking is the most important thing there. That goes back to building that community and stuff, because we met all kinds of people. Several people.
Would like Dunfree say, he said probably something about this is why we were sent out on that missionary trip, right?
He did a quote.
Yeah.
But we met people that are like, yeah, we didn't even know about Midwest Preparedness Festival, and we were talking about that.
We should have a ton of people there.
There should be a influx in new subscribers or new members at Life Done Free. Even if half the people do what they said they were going to do, then it's all about building the community,
right?
And that getting out.
We need to go national with the community. This is very important.
Talking to people is the first step, and this is a great place to do it. It's a good neutral location, and everybody's pointed in the same direction, and just fantastic. Okay. Oh, we didn't talk about Midfest, Mike the anarchist. So the interview I did with Mike from midfest.info. So that it's really weird, because those guys, they're anarchists and libertarians with a small L, not the political party, but the libertarian philosophy.
Well, but can I say the interesting portion of it was the two kids that were with him. All they do is travel around, and they go to homesteads and help you build. And I literally told him, I said, well, dang, our community could definitely put you to work. And he started laughing. He's like, right now we're with Mike. And so that's what they do. They travel around in order to get money for traveling around. You saw that booth of what items they had in there. Those are all homestead goods. So the homesteaders provide them with product, and they travel around and they sell that stuff. And that's how they can go do what they want to do. So that kind of goes back to what Tag has said in the past, that, keeping 85% of the money in our community is important. And they're doing that. But
and I told them this, they are what I would call dirty hippies. And I don't mean that in a bad way. That I was joking with them. They understood. I was joking with them, and we got done talking with them, and I'm not an anarchist. I don't understand anarchy, and I'm constantly I'm constantly getting Spags to tell me about it, and you know,
this kind of messed you up a little bit.
I knew that Spags would like it because the guy was talking about the Agorist market that they do, and that's right up Spags' alley there.
Yeah.
But you know, I got done talking with them, and really good stuff. They gave me a couple ideas. I'm going to do some videos on, some thinking videos. But we got done. We were walking away because Darren was there, and as we're walking away, I'm like, man, I don't know what it is, because I told Mike, I said, I don't agree with you about a stateless society. I'm a constitutional Republican, and I think if we get back to doing it the way it's supposed to be done, we'll be okay. And he was cool with that, and that's one of the reasons why I want to go to their camp out if I can swing it, because they accept all, you know, as long as you're looking for liberty, it's
that's
cool.
what counts,
you know. But we were walking
without
away.
liberty is chaos.
We were walking away, and I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is. I just find that whole thing fascinating, because honestly, the unorganized camp out just runs 180 degrees to my undiagnosed OCD. Seriously, it's not something that I'm like really keen on, but I want to check it out. And Darren said something really kind of profound, to be honest with you. You're walking away, and he goes, maybe it's because deep down inside, you know that they are 6 years ahead of us in their thinking. And I was like, wow, that's pretty profound. And I was like, man. So I don't know. Maybe my horizons are expanding. Maybe I'm growing as a political animal, and you know, but no, they were good people. They were not.
They were super nice.
Oh, they were not.
And really have a lot of goals, and so it was incredible.
Okay, I was making fun of them.
Doing.
I was making fun of them as dirty hippies, because dirty hippies,
really not.
They're not dirty hippies, because every hippie that I've ever met's been very smug and very.
No, they're totally down to earth. And
these kids.
I think even as far as the kids go, I think I would call them nomads with a purpose.
No, well, they're
nomads with a purpose.
They're libertarians. They're real libertarians.
Let me finish. Okay. Nomads with a purpose. And so my cousin, she has a floral shop. They're up in Estes Park, and they get nomads that come through there all the time. What does a nomad mean? Somebody that's just traveling, they come in, they work for a little bit, and then they move on, right? And so it's just whatever job they can get. These guys, they're nomads with a purpose. They're trying to get the homesteaders ahead. This is what you want to do. You have a goal. You don't have help. You're by yourself. Okay, we're coming in, and we're going to help you build. And we're going to get that garden in. And that's how they started, was helping people get their gardens in. And here's what we're going to do, and, you know, all that. And they're doing that. And it's just absolutely amazing. In fact, to the point that they're taking other homesteaders' products and they're selling them.
At these festivals.
And it's just amazing. I wish I could have sent him a crap ton of product with them. We just didn't talk about that. I should have.
So if you are within driving distance of Spapulva, Oklahoma, in September, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it in the fall, because we do have.
Well, right now we've got 3 festivals back to back.
We're pretty tied up through September. Right. But if you're within driving distance and you can't make it to Midwest Preparedness Festival at the first week in October, and you're looking for something to do,
make it there.
Go check it out, because I think it will be mind blowing.
Yeah. At least give you be open-minded when you get there, and then just expand your mind a little bit and kind of figure it out.
And Mike
I'm not stoned and I'm not on drugs. Just expand your mind a little bit, kind of figure it out.
Cannot remember the guy's name.
Oh, he was so cool. I know. And
I can't remember the name, but
his girlfriend was so sweet.
Yes, very sweet. But they both gave me some titles of books that I'm going to check and read.
Yeah. You know who she reminded me of was the girl from Tennessee. And I almost thought it was weird because they looked alike. And I almost thought it was her because she had her dreadlocks in when we were in Tennessee. And this gal, her hair was let down. And I kind of thought it was her.
No,
not. Oh my goodness. She contacted us about land and landowners in Tennessee, which if there's anybody that is around Tennessee and you have land that you are willing to rent out and for somebody to put a tiny house on, expand on, help you garden, help you farm and all of that, I need to set you up with somebody, and they're cool cats, so it'll be good. We met them at Back to the Land.
Mhm.
You actually interviewed them.
Yep.
So yeah, so oh my gosh, you guys, I mean, this is just expanding to a point that I never thought it would be.
Yep.
Holy cow.
So we packed up. Didn't take us nearly as long to pack up.
No, because everybody's just kind of throws stuff together.
And then we hit the road, and there's an uneventful road home. Got rained on a little bit. Got rained on. Got home around 10. Went to bed. And I wake up the next morning, and I go outside. I slept late, and because it was Sunday, and I was tired and slept late.
You were exhausted.
And I stumbled out and started taking care of the chickens at about 8 o'clock. And I'm in the coop, and I'm like, I hear a goat, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's Mama. Because Mama sassy and the baby, and I turn around and I realized I'm not hearing the other animals. I'm like, what the?
You didn't tell me this.
What is going on?
Everybody
And I
got
stick
out.
my head out. I stick my head out of the coop. I'm halfway through feeding the chickens, and I stick my head out the coop and I look in the pen, and there's no animals there. Sassy and the baby are the only ones in the pen. I'm like, what the heck? So I thought they pushed the gate to the paddock open before. And they usually just go out there and they eat. Sometimes they'll jump the fence and they'll go eat my elderberries and get where they're not supposed to be. But it's not a big thing. I go back there and they're not there. I'm whistling, and usually when I whistle in the morning, they'll come running. They're not there. And I go down in the woods. There's no tracks leading down in the woods. I'm like, what the? I'm serious. At this point, I'm starting to get really stressed. And I come back up, and there's a gate right out here on this end of the pen. And apparently somebody opened it this weekend and didn't latch it properly. And they had pushed it open because they were there when we got home at 10.
We think I didn't check.
No, I heard them. I heard them.
You heard them, but you didn't check.
But
because we can still hear them if they're out.
But they pushed it open and then they disappeared. And I was like, oh gosh.
Okay, so that reminds me. So you were asking what Dolly was barking at. She was literally looking at the next pasture barking. So we may have one or two over there.
They're all home.
You sure?
If you were engaged, you'd know they were home.
I am so tired of that comment. You need to quit. You have me doing a business and all kinds of stuff.
But I jump in the truck and I'm pulling out of the driveway to go down and see if they're on the road. And they're down west of us, right in the middle of the road, like a great big mob. And I whistled at them. They heard the truck and they started coming towards the truck. And I whistled at them and I sent a little bit out there.
That way?
Yeah, they were down by the Alvarez's. But I sent a little bit down to get them, and she rounded them up and got them through the gate and got them put away. And I yelled at them. I had some choice words for them because they walked in my. And
everybody wonders why it's called Grumpy.
They walked in my raised bed right next to the pen when they were getting out. But everybody made it home, and they've been butt heads. They got out this afternoon after I let them out and got into the elderberries. So you know,
blackberries.
It's just one of those things, having animals, you know. And I can't be upset about the gate thing because I've done it before. They've never taken off down the road like that. But Starla wants us to donate chef's knives.
Do what?
Starla wants us to donate chef's knives when we hit 3K subscribers.
I told
Grumpy
you, Acres. I think I should donate.
Oh, she should donate
chef knives
for the giveaway. If you want to donate,
no, Starla, no, because I am very selective of chef knives.
No, not for a giveaway.
I understand, and so whatever we would give away, no, it's high dollar. You do not want to do that. Do not volunteer it. No.
But we're not going to do a giveaway till $5,000.
I'm a wussed off girl, and so you don't want to do that. And G, actually, as he was doing the hog, I could hear him shuffling through the drawers, and he's like, "Where are the knives? Where are the knives?" And I knew exactly what I was hearing, and I'm like, "You don't want to be in that drawer. you need to go over to the island, and those are the knives that you want. And he's like, I don't understand what the difference is. And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, there's a huge difference. And my sink was full of knives because he learned the difference.
Yeah,
And
I know the difference. I just didn't know where you kept them. Where you,
right.
you
So,
hide them.
well, you went through quite a few. But so, yeah, the Wusthof knives are where we're at, and that's what we do. No, those are high dollar. You do
Ghetto,
not
I will
wanna
talk
donate
about that question a little bit later.
What was that?
He wants to know a specific question. I will give my opinion. It's my opinion on something.
Is it? Can I put my glasses on? I just want
Yeah, you can read it if you want. I don't care. But so there it was, and I spent 5 hours while somebody was catching up on her beauty sleep. I spent 5 hours getting the truck out.
Catching up on beauty sleep.
Well, because you didn't sleep all weekend. And I don't play, seriously, going back to the conversation, it's living out here and then sleeping in a hotel
is hard.
It is, because it's loud. There were other vendors there that live on homesteads out in the country too. And
we all had the same
everybody was saying, the trucks and the ACs
the
and
train,
the noise and stuff.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. So she caught up on her sleep, and
I'm still
for some reason I had it in my head that the flea market was this week, and it's not. It's next week.
No, it's next weekend.
So
powwows this week.
I got everything out of the trailer, and I separated stuff by category, so it's much easier to load the bins up and get them unloaded.
Which totally helped, because now I can run everything through the belt, so this is not a problem.
So.
Yeah.
So
I'm messing things up, but they're all kind of in the same crate.
And
it should be fine.
Got that. And it is providential too, because I didn't realize that the powwow
was
this weekend until yesterday.
Right.
And that's like a
huge.
It's a regional powwow.
Yeah.
And it's
so we're not going to be doing the big one here. The big one is like 20,000 people, if not more.
Oh, I don't know.
It's huge. So this one is just a regional.
It's just a regional.
But we're still looking at 2 to 4.
2 to 4.
2 to 4,000.
It's all the tribes in this area, So it's
huge.
It's a big one for us, And then I'm going to be down in southern Missouri, and but so it was providential that I did it. That it got stuck in my head.
Thank you for getting Mr. Hacks to help me, because I'm not going to lie, if I didn't know when you presented that to me, if I did not know, and he opened it up. He said, Hacks is going to help you. One of the Hacks is in Kansas City, and then this Hacks is going to help you. Had it not been for that, I probably would have nixed it. Like, no way. 4,000 people in one person is hard.
I would have canceled my trip down South Head.
Would you?
Yeah, I would have.
Okay.
That's just from a business standpoint. It's one of those things. It's one of those things that if we want to succeed and we want to create these alternative income sources, then we have to make sacrifices. And there's always going to be an opportunity to do another out, but this is it's.
And I'm not going to lie, everything that we've done from the beginning of our crazy, scary move to where we are now, a lot of our success, some of the success has been, and why we can do what we're doing. Let me put it that way. Why we can do what we're doing now is because of the tribal government. Otherwise, we'd have been screwed. Yeah.
They're talking about kilts. I'll tell you what. One thing wearing a kilt.
Put your kilt on.
One thing wearing a kilt that I found out, and I understand why women are the way they are sometimes now. If you've ever jumped on a tractor with black vinyl seats that's been sitting out in the sun all day with a kilt on, and that hot vinyl hits the back of your thighs, oh, criminy, that's a special kind of pain right there.
That's a burn.
That's a special kind of pain. So I empathize with the ladies wearing the skirts.
What?
Women wearing the skirts.
I mean, you want me to follow up with that? Because I really don't, because you're not going to like it if I follow up with it. I don't want you to
follow up.
All right.
Never work with bees, hypothetically speaking.
In a skirt? Right.
In a kilt.
Right. Oh, I didn't use the word kilt. I'm sorry. Yeah. Don't do it in a skirt or shorts either.
Or you end up coming back, or tight jeans, or you end up driving back to the homestead
I had a full-on bee suit on, and we don't have to talk about that.
You didn't have a bee suit on. You had your jeans on.
No, when I came home, but I was in a full-on bee suit.
No, you had your jeans on that time.
Dude.
Okay.
I underneath my bee suit.
Okay. I'm just saying. All I know is you came back without any pants on.
You don't have to tell everybody that.
We've already told that story.
Well, I don't know. We have new subscribers here. Don't scare them.
How's that scaring them? This is Homestead
horrible
life.
Story.
This is Homestead. You get a whole bunch of bee stings in your tight jeans. The first thing you do is take the things off.
Okay. All right. So he's making it sound terrible. So I went out there.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I had my clothes on, and then I put my bee suit on, and I went out to the bees, and I paid attention to everybody. And we have this one ferocious, horrible hive. And so I got to that hive, and I like to die. I never did anything with them. I tried the best I could, and they were coming at me. They were just dive bombing me. And I was like, okay, I can tolerate it. So I let it happen just so I can get everything I needed to do done. And then I got back to the truck, and I'm kind of looking, and I ran at one point. I think I ran across the pasture to get away from them, took a deep breath, went back to the truck. Okay, everybody's relaxed. And I went to go take my bee suit off. And when I did, I realized, oh my goodness. So the stingers were actually stuck in my jeans. And so I stripped. I was on our property, so it was not a big deal. And usually when I go out there, I'll take care of the bees and all of that, and I'll have a cold beer. Well, what I think is going to be cold, sitting in the console because we're on our property. So it's not a big deal.
As HE says, hypothetically,
right.
I could see walking around the property with just underwear on.
So I'm back there, and I was like, okay, all right. So I take everything off to get the stingers out of me and all of that. And I go back, I'm driving back. And of course I open that beer right away because I'm like, I need relief. I think I even messaged B because I was putting ice on everything at the time. I think we were talking, but so I had the beer open, and then the windows were rolled up because of course I needed AC. It was really hot. And so I had the AC going, and he's looking in the window at me, and he's like, why are you naked? Why do you have a beer? Why do you have a beer open? And I was like, okay, here's what happened. And so I told him, and then we're close to the road. So I'm looking at the road. I'm like, can I get inside without anybody seeing? And he didn't care. He was too busy laughing at me.
Bird Lady Speaks showed up too. You guys just coming over from Jason's live? He had an interview with some child rescue people.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and watch that. Yeah.
But that's about it. That's about it from the expo news. We got a busy couple of weeks.
We had a busy day. So I got seeds separated for you. Those are all Grumpy Acres seeds.
Chuck's in Florida giving a class. Working.
Yeah, so I got seeds separated for you to the camp out this weekend. And then what else did I do? Oh, you're gonna stop by. I talked to Bill and Scott. So I've got that money for them. We sell some stuff for them, and so I need
our laser engraving
percentage rate. And then took care of the chickens. Unfortunately, we lost a chicken.
A chick.
Yeah, we didn't think we did. And then I got in there to clean everything out, and we did. And unfortunately, it was one of the American breasts. So super sad about that. But we got the other eggs, everybody going. And then that one incubator, it's time to clean that out before it gets stinky. So I'll get that cleaned out. I'm going to put that in a bag, and you can bury it, right?
What?
The eggs that aren't viable.
Yeah, just send them
so I'll get that done, and then get that incubator cleared out. And then it looks like we got 12 days left on the other incubator. So we'll get that.
HG says that this community is like country music.
Right.
If you guys want to go over there and get a bunch of people, go over and give him a hard time, do it. He deserves it.
Do what?
To give Jason a hard time.
They may not even be on there anymore. 14. They try to keep it down an hour.
So Ghetto asked me if I thought Trump would ever get arrested.
Right. I'm use
The honest,
this moment to
the
exit for a minute.
the honest answer to that is
Wait, don't incriminate me.
The honest answer to that is I don't know. Do I think the Marxists are crazy enough to do something that stupid? Yes, I think they are stupid enough to do that. Do I think that if they did it, do I think that it could turn out very bad for a whole bunch of people? Meaning that there would be people that would see it as the last straw, and they could accidentally provoke a real January 6th instead of the fake January 6th, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I don't know. I honestly, at this point in the game, I couldn't tell you. Yes, they're crazy enough to do it, but will they do it? Hopefully some cooler heads prevail in that, and that takes that is off the table. Hopefully, And I had, speaking of Trump, I had some guy get mad at me in there's a news amalgamation forum that I go to, freerepublic.com, and they were talking. There was an article in, was the American Thinker, the Real Politics. I don't know. It was one of the newsletters that's out there, and they were making the point that there should be no forgiveness until there's repentance, and they were talking about the stuff that they did with the lockdowns and how they did. Hang on a second, Starla. That's Kentucky Sustainable Living. That's who that is. They were, but and they made the point. They said until these people repent, that forgiving them doesn't do any good. And absolutely correct. That's from a Christian standpoint. There is no forgiveness, no true forgiveness unless there's repentance. And that's something we all need to remember. But I made the comment, and I stand by this. I said everybody in here that is saying yes, they should repent, and they should apologize heartfully. I made the point. I said funny thing is if you held everybody to the same standard, that would negate Trump ever being elected president by these same people that were in this conversation. And I got accused of having Trump derangement syndrome and all kinds of other stuff. And that's so stupid. It's to the point now that conservatives, you can't disagree with Trump with a whole big group of people because you have Trump derangement syndrome. You can't talk about the truth.
They changed the narrative.
And I can't. I made the comment. I said, I said, how about instead of attacking each other, if somebody just disagrees with you on something simple like that, why don't we actually protest? And I'm right now, depending on who gets the nomination, I'm not casting a vote for whoever's at the top of the ticket. I'll write somebody in as a protest, or I may just leave it blank. Tag and I have had this conversation.
I kind of like DeSantis stand. I'm not gonna lie.
But Tag and I have had this conversation.
And the fact that he pissed Trump off really.
Tag thinks you should write people in, and I can see the logic in it. But I can also see the logic of not voting for the lesser of two evil and just not putting anything in. So it's going to be a hard one for me. I'm not going to lie. 2024 is going to be a hard one for me because I understand that if I do not vote for the lesser of two evils, then we're going to get what we get.
Yeah, good is right. Chaos is everything. Keep them divided.
Well,
it's been that way since 1940, 1935, somewhere in there. So,
so I don't know. I'm going to have to do it. And I still, even if I don't cast a vote for the president, I still reserve a right because my casting a vote or my not casting a vote is part of the political process.
You're not,
and it's not,
put my glasses on because I have to see.
It's not like I'm sitting on the couch and not voting. That's a completely different animal. Anybody that proudly says I don't vote, you should mock them mercilessly.
Yep.
Thank you, Bird Lady. Oops, wrong one. Where is it? There it is. You know, thank you for the support there. And it's hard. You know, I grew up. I'm one of those guys. My entire adult life. You know, you vote your conscience in the primaries, and then you vote pragmatically in the general election. And what's that gotten us? That's gotten us right where we are today, because you know, and it's and the whole thing is it's worked out so well.
Right.
Voting like that as a conservative has worked out so well.
So it was really funny. I turned 18 in October, and then the presidential election was coming up that very same year in November. And somehow, usually it takes longer to register to vote, but somehow I all of a sudden was registered to vote because they were coming door to door. And I was marched down with my mom and dad to vote, and my mother was in my ear the entire time.
You know,
and so I did not get to vote for who I wanted to.
And don't think that I'm sitting here saying that I need to agree 100% with a candidate. I do not have to agree 100% with the candidate. But what both the political parties, not just Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, anybody who's putting somebody up, what they have to do is they have to prove to me that the person is genuine and sincere, and they will do what they said. And I voted for Trump twice. So,
well, don't you think with what DeSantis has proven in Florida, don't you think that he can come in and do that for the?
He's an establishment guy.
You think so?
He's I'm talking about Trump like I am, and don't think I wouldn't vote for him again if I honestly think.
Oh, if he could fix this.
If Trump makes me believe that if he got in office that he would start swinging the axe and taking revenge on the people that did what they did to him, I would vote for him wholeheartedly. Just number one, because it's a house cleaning needs to take place. Number two, because I just think it would be great political theater. That would be worth the cost of admission, you know. But do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. Okay, HG says my father was independent until he registered and ran for state rep. And Aunt found out he registered and never spoke to him again ever. Yeah. You know, and I you know what? I lost friends. No, I didn't lose friends. I quit being friends with some people over the last election. And family. I quit talking to them. Because anybody, okay, if there's anybody that voted for Biden in here, you're going to get upset at me. And if you're a subscriber, you're probably going to unsubscribe. But anybody that voted for Biden in the last election is either a moron or corrupt. You could put it a different way. No, that's exactly. They didn't know. No. I'm sorry. Know. No, that is not. I did not know is not an acceptable answer. Not in the age of information, and not with all that they chose to believe what they chose to believe. Karen, there are so many folks that cannot get on the internet and find out that information, and that is the only way it was given. In 2020, the news literally ruined all of that. In 2020, that is not an excuse. Okay. It's just like I respectfully disagree. That's just like these people that are saying, "Oh, I didn't know about the pokey poke. I didn't know that this was what it was." I'm sorry, that's not an excuse we should accept anymore. And I realize that I'm putting my foot down and taking a stand, and it's going to make for some hard decisions. It's going to upset some people, and I'm sorry. It's just at this late in the game, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to educate ourselves, and if you can't do that, then either you're a moron, or if you voted for Biden knowing all that stuff, then you're just as corrupt as they are. Starlight agrees with you. So take that for what it is. And if I upset anybody, I apologize. I didn't mean to. It's not what I came here for. Well, but it's for our channel, it's a freedom platform. I know. You can vote. So you can vote however you want. We're not trying to entice you one way or the other. No, you can't. Believe me, G and I, we have our conversations, and he's like,
just don't vote for anybody. And I still have that. I grew up Navy. I married a Marine, and all of that. I still feel like in order for me to do my duty is the way I was raised, I go and I vote for somebody.
And again, like she said, I'm not telling you who to vote for. What I'm saying is, for God's sake, educate yourself and educate the people around you.
It's hard to educate people around.
Well,
we've tried it.
It's hard.
It doesn't work.
And being free is hard. Being free is hard. And I'm gonna do a video. Mike and I were talking, and then Dinesh D'Souza had something. I'm gonna do a video about freedom and liberty, and is and ought, and it should be rather interesting. But do you want to? I'm going to stick my head out and see what that.
I don't think you have to. They're just being stupid.
No, she's out by the front gate.
Well, she's
the
deer are out there.
I'll be right back.
You're going to see deer. All right. So let's go in here and we'll look at some comments. Registered independent. I'm actually a more libertarian. Yeah. So I tried voting libertarian, and G literally told me, he said, "You're wasting your vote." And it turns out I was. I literally wasted my vote. But anyway, I'm not sure that, well, I need to be careful what I say. Anyway, more people probably voted like us, Faith K, than what we'll ever know. Silver lining at Skane's Grill, working in the garden well. It's not 98 degrees. Yeah. So we have some lights that can be like football lights. So you're working in the stadium. I would love to have those up right now, but the cords are too short. So we're going to have to figure that out.
That has been raining. I don't want to get electrocuted.
Seriously?
No, seriously.
Not all year. You could do
it. No, Ghetto, you're fine. You're fine. It's something that would have come up eventually.
Yeah.
I would have talked about that eventually. And the closer it got to the election, the worse it would have been, because it would have been a bunch of pent up frustration.
Well, and then you have to remember too, we're just coming off of what the military did, that literally we made a decision. We gave up our entire way of life, right? I'm gonna say it that way. No, we gave up our entire what we knew of our way of life.
Took a different path down the same thing.
A different path that was super scary, and we didn't know where it was going to go. So I'm going to say we gave up a lot, because what we knew was it's okay to have credit cards. It's okay to have a mortgage. It's okay to go to work 9 to 5 and do whatever.
Scary, scary liberty.
Oh, you're being ridiculous.
No, I'm not. I'm not being ridiculous.
Yeah, you are.
Liberty is scary. Going down that road is scary.
Yeah.
It's one thing we did learn. Yeah. Jorgensen. What's Aleppo? Oh, goodness. I got a good laugh out of that one. Anyway, okay, enough about politics. So we've got shows coming up. Yoda's going to do that. She's going out to check the chickens and smoke a cancer stick. And we've got the Missouri camp out next weekend. Does anybody have anything going on in their lives that they want to promote and talk about before we go? We've been on here for good night, over an hour and a half. We need to start wrapping this up. Yep, I like the long days too. Get back in front of working outside. That's something we need to. Everybody needs to get out and work on those gardens. Do that garden 30. And if you don't know what garden 30 is, I'm going to do a video on that too. So we got videos. Yoda's going to do some freeze-dry cooking videos. That's about it. Unless you guys. Bird Lady says she didn't get a notification. Yeah, you may have to unsubscribe and resubscribe in order to get that going. Oh, okay. I want everybody. We're gonna call this quits right now, and I want you to go over and mob Jason at Kentucky Sustainable Living's live. Go in there and give Jason and Billy a hard time, and y'all go ahead and go live a lifetime free. All you new subscribers, thank you for showing up. Hope we didn't chase you off. Everybody have a great day and go live a lifetime free. Take care.